Friends, definitely.
Nah, one word is family. Like, you got people like you can depend on.
Probably my favorite part of playing rugby is like I can forget any problem I'm having at school or at home or just any kind of worry or burden and just like giving my all on the field.
And we all choose to come here. We don't have to be here, you know. It's just good fun coming out on a Sunday, playing, getting all together, and just great.
All right, so yeah, I think it's the fact that we can play very hard, smack each other up, boom each other, and just eat good and talk to laugh with each other after.
So, one thing that rugby has done for you?
It's brought up a lot of my confidence. I wasn't very confident in middle school, and I knew that if I wanted to become a better player, I would have to bring up my game, which I did, and I've just become so much like a better person to myself. I see myself in such a bigger light, and I'm honestly so much happier playing rugby.
I ain't gonna lie, if it wasn't for them, I don't think I would like be around here, to be honest. So I guess family.
New York Rugby Club is a great community because they put you around great people such as Alex, my coach Alex, and he teaches me more about rugby, how I can make my game better every day and elevate it to the next.
Nah, but like, you feel me? But like, I bet, like, you know how the hood is, so you know, like, it's crazy, like, around shooters and all that stuff. So it's just keeping me out from there, and then changing from like me gotta worry about, oh, I can't walk here, instead of just changing my life and being positive and don't need to worry about anything that much.
I think people really underestimate women in sports. Like in my school, rugby, especially the girls' rugby, is really strong, and I don't think a lot of people expect that that women can have the sort of strength or like sort of drive that men can have in sports. And I mean, you can see today, like it's pretty much even. Women want to, you know, have an outlet for physical contact or something to blow off steam just as much as men do, and they're just as physical, and we're just as, I guess, you can say aggressive as men can be, and we can be just as successful on the rugby field. So I think it just helped me learn that whatever a man can do, I can do it. It's no worries. I can do exactly what they can do.
Hey, rugby fans, rugby is everywhere. The giant is awakening, and Rugby Wrap-Up is there with the alarm clock. Rugby Wrap-Up, global rugby coverage, sometimes with a wink. Weekly studio shows, daily website content, breaking news, evolving stories, the biggest names in the game.
Hey, everybody, and welcome to Siena College for the NSCRO, National Small College Rugby Organization Championships. I'm here with Steve Lewis. I'm Matt McCarthy. This is Steve Lewis, the two-time USA Rugby Coach of the Year and U.S. All-American College Sevens coach, along with Brett Anker down on the pitch. And we have this Challenge Cup final between the Washington and Lee Screaming Minks and the Azusa Pacific University Cougars. Steve, this should be a good one.
Yep, that's a great matchup. We saw them play yesterday. Loads of explosive power on both sides of the ball. Some key matchups coming up here and some good players to look out for. This should be a cracker.
It should indeed. Our referee is Leah Berard, and we have the Washington and Lee Screaming Mink in blue and the Azusa Pacific team in white. As our assistant referee jogs to the other side of the pitch, we get a look at him and his flag, and we are about set to go.
Yes, indeed. As you said, the match will be taken charge of by Leah Berard, a very experienced referee, international women's rugby referee, ex-pro rugby referee, and very highly regarded over the years. And she will have no issues whatsoever controlling these 30 young men in this championship final.
The remote's nowhere to be found, and it's echoing off the TV in the booth. And we are underway with the restart. It finds the turf and bounces into the hands, but it's taken into touch, and it will be a scrum down, or a line out, I beg your pardon, for Washington and Lee's Screaming Minks. Just found it. Avoided bonkers. All right, here is our throw-in. That is Spencer Alacio hitting his big man, number 1, Grant Coakley. On the short throw there, Steve. And here is our scrum half digging it out. That is Sam Lauman wearing number 10, just to see if you're paying attention, folks. And our fly half is number 16. So some of the numbers at this point in the tournament are a little bit different than the positions that they're playing, but we'll try to keep you abreast of what's going on as it happens accurately. In the meantime, Screaming Minks take it to the turf, trying to attempt a counter ruck and some defense by the Azusa Pacific Cougars wearing white. Both of these teams had impressive and resounding victories to get here on Friday and Saturday, respectively. And you can see the physicality is happening early. Both of these teams want to take home some hardware. They've come a long way for this moment. And there is our out of the normal kind of fly half. But it's turned over, and actually...
He's down. He looks injured. Or he's slow to get up, certainly.
That is Simi Maola, number 16. Tongan descent, getting back into position.
The interesting choice came on and made an explosive cameo yesterday for about 20 minutes in the number 8 position. They have him starting this evening in the 10 position.
That was number 3, Nolan Durfee, taking it to turf. And he's followed by Ed Calley, wearing number 6. Junior ROTC man, and apparently the co-captain next year. But the ball is out. There's Maiola. And he is going to run the ball a lot today. I think that's part of the strategy. He's a large man at fly half wearing number 16. And there's a penalty awarded and a quick tap taken by Maiola. And he is in for the try off the quick tap just like that. Steve, he scored 2 quick tries in about 20 minutes off the bench in the last match. And here he is already showing his abilities.
Yeah, I mean, he's an athletic specimen, right? As we said in the semi-final, he looked like a man amongst boys, and certainly started off this evening in the same vein. So good early score for Washington Lee. Gives the opportunity for their kicker, Hallman, the winger, to slot one over. 5-0, awaiting the conversion.
And Hallman has had a good tournament from the tee so far. So this one should be a pretty good, within his range. We were talking about his quirkiness around the tee. And it works.
Everyone has their juju.
That's right. See, he gets that thing just on there, so.
We'll see some sort of hand movements here, pointing towards the posts.
There you go.
There you go.
There's referee Leah Berard looking on. Great shot from our Next Level Rugby production crew. And he slots it through. There's the flags go up, and all of a sudden it's 7-0 in favor of the Washington and Lee Screaming Minks out of Lexington, Virginia, over the Azusa Pacific Cougars out of Steve,
Los Angeles, California.
One of your favorite cities.
Why is that?
I don't know. I don't know why that came out of my mouth, and I apologize. I'll try to refrain from that in the future. I will not associate you with Los Angeles. Steve's from Glasgow, ladies and gentlemen. Scotland.
Indeed.
All right, there's the restart by the hooker, Anthony Martinez out of Covina, California. Well, that's not Anthony Martinez that just kicked that. We'll find out what the number is. Throwing curveballs at us, Steve. All right, there's a whistle, and it's going to be a scrum down to Washington and Lee.
Yep, first scrum of the game. Conditions starting to deteriorate a little bit. It's been a gloomy weekend here in Siena. Some rain Friday night, stayed dry yesterday and been dry thus far, but starting to see the first smatterings of precipitation.
Smatterings of precipitation will take. We had some biblical rains coming up here on Friday. They held off for the most part during this tournament. We've been lucky with the weather here in the Albany, Empire State, New York region.
Yeah, good scrum there by Azusa. They've had their opposition a little bit under pressure, managed just to dirty up the ball there, knock on at the base, and now they're rewarded with their own put-in.
All right, here we go.
So offensive weapons for the Cougars. I mean, I thought both centers played well in the previous game. Parker Vincent, Josh Williams. They look pretty strong running pair. So let's see if they get a first touch. They're lined out left, 3 backs left, 3 on the right.
There's the scrum half. That was Matt Uheno, the scrum half, wearing white. Not the biggest guy on the planet, but he has got a lot of heart. And you see right there, he's right there in the middle. There's Chase Wolfhope.
I was quite impressed by him on the Friday, and he started off strongly again with a good hard drive.
The freshman mechanical engineer, and there's a penalty awarded because of his work to his team, the Cougars. And there's the kick into touch by Aiden Birch out of Santa Cruz. Did he find touch? No, it's into the hands of an attacking, screaming mink. Taken to the turf. There's a counter ruck, a good one, and it might have been stolen, and it has been. It looks like Connor Brink-Sawyer dove onto that one. Here's Ben Seast, the captain, out of Fort Collins, Colorado. Now right there in the back line to take that is number 8, Connor Brink-Sawyer, out of Modesta, California. There's Useno. A little chip kick by Parker Vincent, and it's into touch, and it's going to be a line out, Steve, to Washington and Lee.
Yeah, I mean, if you're going to dink the ball behind like that, it's got to be a little bit more accurate. You've got to give your teammates an opportunity to do something with it, and unfortunately that just went out, and they've turned over possession in what was a promising attacking situation.
Yeah, and we've seen that center combo from the Azusa Pacific Cougars do well, Parker Vincent and Josh Williams, by holding on to the ball and testing the defense. I'm surprised to see Parker kick the ball there. All right, and here's a line out, and it goes into the hands of Mauke, the tight head prop out of Hawaii. And suddenly we have an opportunity for Azusa to even the score. Dug out of the bottom of the ruck by Chase Wolfhope. Here's Anthony Martinez, number 2, smashing forward. On defense, it's Grant Coakley. Here's Parker Vincent looking for some daylight and a try line. He squirts forward. There's Ben Seast, the captain, and he is in for the try. And this is a makeable kick here for the conversion, and this could tie us up, Steve.
Yes, indeed. Just close quarter action there. 2-3 attempts. And in the end, it was their skipper, Ben Seast. As you said, the Colorado native. Close enough, did enough, got over the line, put his team back in contention here.
That's right. And here is Parker Vincent, the inside center, going to line up the conversion, but he also was instrumental in getting the ball close, and there is Seast touching it down for the try. He is not far into the try zone in this tournament, Mr. Seast. And there's the replay again from another angle.
Yeah, they've been going right, and Seast just picked up, went to the left of the ruck. And as you know, defensively, you need guards on both sides, equally alert. And so he got reward for keeping his eyes open. The conversion is good, and we have a tied game as we come up to about the 10th minute. It is 7-7 Washington and Lee against the Azusa Pacific Cougars.
we could see a whole lot of points scored in this one, and it's good to see that they answered right back with a score of their own. We haven't seen that counter punch from some of these teams so far, but this is why these two teams are in the championship. Of the Challenge Cup, the Enscrow Challenge Cup championship final. There's the restart by Maola.
Yeah, he's got enough height there. Someone else should have got closer to the ball. That was certainly contestable. Wasn't a very good follow-up by his teammates.
Bo Perez barrels into the opposition, and now it's Anthony Martinez. See if they can get some phases together. Bueno gives it to Parker Vincent, who gives it a ride. He's going to make the Screaming Minx work for it, and that's good. We see a little bit of pressure for Aleka Apodaca, who counterattacks well here. Gets it to Jordan Madriaga. You see that single formation again at the back of the breakdown, Steve. There it is. They're going in. That worked well for them the other night. There's Nolan Durfee falling forward. And there is Simi. Maola, again, creating something, but he knocks it on, and it's turned over to Azusa Pacific. There's At Oahi Uwaha. Something like that, Steve. I'm butchering it from Hawaii, so I'm not going to try it again. There's number 5, Ben Seast. Going forward, the junior criminal justice major.
Yeah, good call there from Leah Berard. That was clearly a number 7 coming in from the side. She spotted it pretty early, pretty obvious, and the result will be a penalty to Azusa.
And Vincent will try to put it into touch. He does. He just does get it into touch. Nice effort there on the wing over by Kyle Hallman.
So yeah, attacking line out on the left-hand side, about 8-9 meters out. Interesting to see what they go for here. We've seen a whole variation, full lineouts to rolling mauls, short lineouts, trick plays, whatever you have. We've seen it all this weekend.
Here it is. Here's your lineout. It's going to be thrown in by Tiernan Hannes. I beg your pardon, that was Bo Perez.
Washington Lee not engaging here. Now once they engage is now a wall, but they're over the line. That was dangerous. Dangerous choice, and I take Wolf Hope to go in here. He's a strong boy. Just held short.
All of a sudden, they're knocking on the door, and they get it in. Did he hold on to it? Did he get it down? That was Seast trying again. And I think it's going to be called a knock-on, Steve. Or
Not convinced. I would like to see a replay there. I think he actually had downward pressure on that, and he had control of the ball, but referee
here it is.
Did not agree. He comes off here, shears off at an angle, and he goes right hand, sticking by my opinion.
I don't know. I thought there might have been an elbow of the defender under it, but let's see. Here's another angle. Some great camera work.
You're right.
I don't think, I think there was an arm or a hand or something. It was a nice play by number 2. That was Tiernan Hannes.
I take it all back.
It's okay. But they get the ball. Oh, no, here it is. It's going to be a put in by the scrum half wearing number 10. That's Sam Lohman. His older brother Max will be coming in reserve. Their dad is from the Netherlands. Played rugby, and that's how they got into it at a young age, like 5th and 6th grade, both of them respectfully.
Quite a bit of rugby in the Netherlands.
Sevens is big there, too, right, Stephen? There's a knock-on by Maola. Was it turned over? You'll wait for the whistle and see. It's going to be a scrum down to Azusa Pacific, so they'll maintain possession, knocking on the door, trying to break the tie of 7-7 here at the Siena College Hickey Field, right outside Albany for this Enscrow Challenge Cup final. You can be watching on the Enscrow YouTube channel or on the Next Level Rugby YouTube channel. Either way, it's been great rugby all weekend long. Matt McCarthy with Steve Lewis and our man Brett Anchor on the pitch. Here's Ueno. And there's a big crashing run. from Josh Williams. Little pick and go, Steve. It's worked well for Seast before.
Yeah, he did well to squirrel around there and get the ball back on his side.
Did
Here it is, Martinez having a crack.
Yeah, they're smelling that try, Steve. And it's going to be number 7, Luke Gregerson, off the nice pass from Ueno, who sucked in the defense and got it to his man, who had no problem touching it down, was Gregerson. And Spencer Vincent will try to convert this and put his team up by a try and a conversion. So it'll be 14-12 if he makes this conversion. This one's not an easy one, though, Steve. And it's not going to be Parker Vincent. There's a little conversation about who's going to kick the conversion here. Travis Hughes is over there. And it looks like it's going to be Hughes that attempts this one. But again, a nice look and a nice play from the scrum half. Matt Ueno setting that up and getting Gregerson into the try zone. Gregerson from Visalia, California. And Ueno, a Hawaiian. Players from all over on both of these teams. Here's Travis Hughes. And the kick is up, and it is no good. And not a peep in the stadium while the kicks are being attempted.
It's good manners. Manners maketh man.
Write that down, folks, as we have a 12-7 lead in favor of the Azusa Pacific Cougars over the Washington and Lee Screaming Minks of Lexington, Virginia. Maola attempts the restart. Ball is up. Good kick. Settling under it. Bo Perez gets it to Parker Vincent. He rambles forward. Takes it to turf. And it's all of a sudden the momentum is all in favor of Azusa, and they are awarded a penalty. Referee Berard awarding the penalty, and there's the kick by Parker Vincent into touch. Kyle Holman's not that tall. He couldn't get to that one. But what have you seen so far, Steve?
Yeah, we saw the first couple of minutes when it looked like it was going to be a one-man show from Simeon Moala, and certainly he took a lead with 2 or 3 good individual runs. However, the Azusa Cougars have worked themselves back in it, patiently moved up the field and scored 2 close-range tries. They are worth their lead of 12-7. And as the first quarter comes to an end, they would appear to be playing sensible rugby, good rugby.
Aiden Birch takes the line out. And it's a turnover and a very happy number 4, Ben Soulier, for the Screaming Minks as they take the ball in the line out. Be a scrum down after the knock on. Up front, you've got Grant Coakley, Tiernan Hannes, and Nolan Durfee for the Screaming Minks. And they are countered by Chase Wolfhope, Anthony Martinez, and Mauke Muti for Azusa. Here's Lohman. Gets it out. Here's McBride. McBride, first time he's got a touch. Tackled by Josh Williams. And you can see Maola is out in that back line again. There he's looking for the ball. There's a good bruising run. Counter-rucking attempts and a drive forward. A big bashing run from Grant. Nope, that was... beg your pardon. There's a big hit. Oh, a huge hit. And they are laying some wood out there, Steve. That was Connor Brink-Sawyer letting Maola know he was in the game, and that's a penalty, though, to the Screaming Minks.
Yeah, I mean, obviously when your target man's there, he's obviously the offensive threat, so they targeted him. That released his teammate into the open space, but certainly Moala took the hit there from number 8, Brink Sawer, and it was a good hit.
And he doesn't kick it into touch. He bounces it into the hands of the wing. Racing forward down the field is McCutcheon.
Another good hit there. No shortage of good tackles here.
Zueno takes it off the base of the scrum. There's Zueno. Pointing, giving field direction. There's a little crash from the number 7, Luke Gregerson. Parker Vincent puts the ball in the air. Oh, that's a pretty good kick. It found an open spot. Luka Apodaca with a counter run, though. He is a big man, and he can move. He's a punishing runner, and he's still on his feet. There's 1, 2, 3. White jerseys gets him down. Here's Jack Christensen helping out. Ball's out. Maola. He's tackled well by Chase Wolfhope. It might have been a knock-on, but it went backwards. Play on. There's number 5, Lucas Campbell from Virginia Beach, the senior, smashing forward. And there's a good counter ruck, Steve. Almost a turnover, and it is.
Finally, the counter ruck. That's what we talked about all day yesterday. They're vulnerable to that with that formation.
Well done, and a whistle, and it's going to be a scrum down awarded to the Cougars.
Just a sort of coaching point for me here. I think obviously Moala is a key player here, the key threat. And if you're John Welsh, the coach, he obviously has his reasons we're not privy to, perhaps his other personnel. But in many ways, if the fly half's the threat, that can be easier to defend. Your good fly half who puts, say, a 13 in space, much harder to defend than a 10. You can bottle up a 10. Various defensive schemes, various things you can do to bottle up a threat like that.
Yeah, your flankers have a shot at getting to him. And you just saw a loose head prop get to him. And there's a knock-on by Spencer Vincent, which you don't see often. He's a sure-handed center, but he dropped it that time, and it's going to be a scrum down.
Spencer Parker's brother.
Yeah, sorry. That's Parker Vincent. I beg your pardon. Somebody get a cup of coffee for the announcers.
Yeah, it's been a long weekend, but here we are in the final game. Nicely poised, 12-7 after 22 minutes. Who will be the Enscrow Challenge Cup champions? Will they be from California? Will they be from Virginia?
And Steve, I can't say enough about this tournament. It's just great. It gives all these guys an opportunity to not only play against good competition, but get some exposure.
That it does.
All right, there is Lauman. Gets it to
Madriaga, it looks like.
Madriaga, yes.
Good contact, but again, didn't take care of the ball. Boom, possession, turns over, flips again. That's Sousa scrum.
Yeah, there's some beef in that back line, certainly, for the Screaming Minks, but they have been a little bit careless with the ball. Maybe trying to overrun or run over too many people.
Ball security.
That's a major in college rugby.
In rugby, a fundamental. Take care of the ball, put the opposition under pressure, play in the right part of the field. Do 2 of those 3 things right, you'll be okay.
Oh, Ueno, he may have just fumbled that. He just knocked it on himself, trying to pick it up. Wasn't looking at the ball, was looking ahead.
Yeah, no bueno from Ueno there. Had to say it.
Oh, boy. Oh, ding, ding, ding. It's the bad humor, man. All right. But it's a scrum down, awarded to the Screaming Minks of Washington and Lee, Lexington, Virginia team.
So what's a mink anyway?
Well, is that a philosophical question? We don't have time for that. We've had a ton of philosophers here from some of our other institutions that were involved in this matchup of great schools. Anyway, there is off the base of the scrum a good hit by Ueno, who caused the knock-on a much bigger Maola. So it'll be a scrum down to the Cougars.
Dark-colored, semi-aquatic, carnivorous mammals.
I didn't know they were semi-aquatic.
There you go.
But if you watch any of those Alaska shows, you know what a mink is. Anyway, we are watching rugby, and we are watching good rugby. There's Coach Rex Pitts looking on as Ueno puts the ball in. Takes it from, he may have just mishandled it again. I think he gets away with it, but it's turned over anyway. Karma as the Screaming Minks get the ball. That's number 7, Jack Christensen from Charlotte, North Carolina. His coaches said he is very smart, which is a pretty good accolade, if you ask me. And they're racing ahead. So Ueno is Maola, and he throws it into the hands of Harry McBride. Great defensive play again by Ueno. Racing back against a much bigger man, forcing a turnover. Oh, sorry, that was Bo Perez with that tackle. Blindside flanker. He's had a big weekend as well. I was going to say, Ueno's all over the pitch if that was him. There he is. There's Parker Vincent.
And that's a good boot. They seem to have been using him more, clearing their lines and tactically this game than they did yesterday. He's certainly got a hefty boot on him. That's an accurate one. Good play. Exactly what was required of that situation.
Here's the replay.
Here it is.
Yes, that's Perez making that tackle. Great play defensively, and McBride there with him, taking the ball. Like to see players hustling back in defense, not taking anything for granted. Here's the line out. Spencer Lacio.
Okay, a couple of players lining up on either side of Moala, so he's either going to use them as a decoy, go himself, or he's going to pop off to one of them.
It's Moala engulfed.
Yep, taking it static and bottled up straight away.
There's Alacio. He is the captain. And somewhat of a renaissance man. More on that later. There is Soulier from New Orleans. The no-look pass to Moala, who's got some room in him, but he's again tackled from behind. A nice play by Muti. There's I had it wrong before. It wasn't Harry McBride. It was McCutcheon. And here is Harry McBride now with the ball. He's in the blue jersey. And he's got his man into open space, and that's going to be a try. It looks like Hallman going down the far side, and he dots it down. And just like that, we've got ourselves our 4th try of the match.
Yeah, and a good try that was, a cracker. Good rugby. Patient, good ball handling, moving to where the space was, and just accurate in the final couple of passes.
Yeah, another nice run by Apodaca. And Hallman knows exactly what to do with it when he gets down there. There it is, a great run. Absorbs the hit, gets the pass off. Great vision. Another angle. And here's the conversion by Hallman. Again, apologies to Alex McCutcheon. He was the one, the 14, that made that great play back there. Lining it up. Right now it's 12-12. Kick is up, and the flags go up as well. Great conversion by Kyle Hallman. He's the current president of the squad, Steve. He's from Devon, Pennsylvania.
Yeah, it's a kicking style. I mean, he's got a fairly low trajectory, but the ball doesn't have to go high. It just needs to go over the crossbar between the posts. It sounds obvious enough. Doesn't have to look good.
And the coaches are saying that he's a player that they're watching come into his own right now, physically and mentally in rugby, and you can see it. It's evidenced here in this tournament. As Parker Vincent kicks the restart. Taken by Spencer Alacio. And there's a little pick and go into the middle of a bunch of bodies by Lucas Campbell. Moala puts it in the air. It bounces a couple of times. There's Bo Perez cleaning things up. Oh, I beg your pardon. That was Jacob Bentz cleaning things up. And it's a penalty awarded to the Cougars. Parker Vincent just kind of chips it a little bit. Doesn't really put a bunch of foot behind it.
Yeah, fairly narrow angle for him, so not necessarily the worst thing there. Sometimes better to be sure, have your line out than get too adventurous and take a chance.
Absolutely. Here's Bo Perez with the throw-in from Rosemead, California, freshman psychology major. And it's taken, stolen by number 7, Jack Christensen. Here's Moala, and he is, as you said, Steve, they are marking him and getting him under control. There's out of the base of the scrum. That was Lohman. Here's Durfee, who flew in from Germany for the tournament. He's studying abroad. He's got to fly back tomorrow morning. But his teammates maintain possession. That's number 4, Ben Soulier. Played cross country and hoops in high school. They had no rugby team. Got into it in college. Oh, there's a big miss by Muti on Moala. But you like seeing those big fellas go at each other, Steve. It's entertaining. There's Lohman getting dumped. Trying to sneak his way through is Christensen, the senior math major.
That's illegal. So I've got a very arcane point over here, this single line formation they have. If you're attached and making contact, that ball has to go to the rearmost person, which it did there. Previously, it's picking it out of the ruck, and they've got away with it a couple of times now.
You're right. Good catch there. And another catch.
If you watch closely here, this ball has to come to the back foot, the rearmost person, but they've turned it over anyway, so irrelevant on this occasion.
All right, crashing forward. Luke Gregerson scored a try earlier. It's a counter ruck attempt by Tiernan Hannes and Grant Coakley, but maintained by the Cougars. Here's Anthony Martinez going short side. Some phases trying to keep the ball here. Ueno digs it out, puts a little box kick up. Asking some questions of the defense. There's Apodaca, who's been powerful in counterattacks. A swipe and a miss by Travis Hughes, and there goes Apodaca. And he kind of fumbles it away, knocks it on at the last moment, and it's a turnover after a great run.
And to be honest, it's a waste after a great run. You make a good run, but when you look for contact like that, on your terms, then take care of the ball. We've seen it countless times over the weekend. If you want to be physical, make sure you hold on to the ball.
Yeah, it's not American football. You're not getting a first down or a couple of extra yards. You want to maintain possession, and the bigger guys, their eyes widen as they see the smaller would-be tacklers, and the would-be tacklers are up to the task.
Yeah, he's a good player, good runner. Apodaca, he had a good game yesterday, and so he'll be probably unhappy with himself with that.
All right, there's the put in. Ueno gets it out. Here comes Parker Vincent. He's got on the burst, the full speed, Jacob Bentz. Good run there.
Yeah, good line, good pass. Needs to be quicker ball, though.
There's a big run by number 8, Connor Brink-Sawyer from Modesta, California. Ueno gets it to Josh Williams. Josh Williams, who gave his teammate Bryce Hardy a try the other night. Very gentlemanly so. Here's Anthony Martinez looking over, and the ball is almost turned over when he was looking for somebody else to pick it up. Ueno gets it, though. There's number 4, Aiden Birch. Here comes Vincent. He's got Ceased into, oh, tough play, tough pass. Alex McCutcheon just doesn't get the handle on it, Steve.
Yes, indeed. Another well-timed pass from Vincent, though. He's looking like a complete footballer in this game today. He's timing his passes well. He showed skill with the boot, making good decisions. He's having a good game.
Yeah, you like to see that, especially in these pressure-packed situations like this NSCRO Challenge Cup final here at Siena College, Hickey Field to be exact. Hope you're watching on either the NSCRO YouTube channel or the Next Level Rugby YouTube channel. Matt McCarthy with Steve Lewis in the booth. Brett Anker on the pitch. And there's the ball out. Maola puts it in the air and into touch. So pretty even Stephen.
Indeed, 14-12 at this stage. Interesting sort of footnote is Azusa Pacific Cougars from California in the same conference as the Champions Cup winners today, Claremont Colleges, along with Long State. I finished, I believe, second, and University of San Diego third. So Azusa finished fourth in that conference. Clearly plenty of talent out west.
Indeed. And here is the talented Perez throwing the ball into his captain, Ben Ceased. And there's a lot of pushing and shoving. And there's Vincent. And there's a big collision. Maola asked to make the tackle. Here comes Bentz. Little sidestep, takes it to the ground. Fundamental tackle made by Lohman, who's studying Chinese and business. Meanwhile, there's Chase Wolfhope. Bueno gets it out to Brink Sawyer. There's Birch. And he's a tree, but he is repelled backwards, and it's stolen by his counterpart, Ben Soulier. A big turnover for the Screaming Minks. Counter ruck attempt doesn't work. There's Hannes, former football player. Here's Bentz, Jacob Bentz. Dances his way into the turf. Josh Williams playing scrum half. Ueno takes the responsibility from him. Parker Vincent takes the ball. Game being played in tight, Steve. Phases and relatively patient for the most part. Young players, disciplined. Here's number 5, Ben Ceased again.
Well, when you look at the two scores Azusa have created, for want of a better word, they've both been close range, they've both been in tight, so stick to the formula, right?
That's right. But we saw both of these teams with high-octane offenses blow out their opposition in the previous 2 matches, and we thought maybe we'd see a lot of points. We're seeing a lot of defense here. Here's Josh Williams testing the defense of the Minks. Cougars in white from Azusa Pacific. There's Parker Vincent, gets the ball out, and there's McCutcheon. He might be in. Does he have enough? He does, is Leah Berard, our official. And there's a try for the Azusa Pacific Cougars.
That's good reward for patience. They moved the ball to the blind side. They ran straight. They passed accurately. And they scored a try.
Here's the replay. Sets it up. There's Ueno.
Good. Vincent again draws the first defender. Pyaff Dilly draws the second. Leaves McCutcheon, the winger, with a run-in. Not a run-in. He still had to finish it. He had the attentions of one other defender coming across, but he dotted it down.
And Addison Dilly definitely taking one for the team there. He sucked the defender in, took the hit, and got the pass off. Great play by Dilly, the number 10. Here's the conversion attempt. Is this going to be Travis Hughes? Yes. Travis Hughes is going to line this one up again. Right now it is 17-14. Let's see if that score changes. We're about at the half, Steve. That was a good try going into the shed.
Where is the shed of which you speak?
It's a heavenly place.
Metaphorical, then.
Sometimes. And the kick, a line drive kick. Does it have enough? No. So we're going to stay at 17-14. Azusa Pacific's Cougars on top of Washington and Lee's Screaming Minks. And we're just about at the half unofficial time. Of course, the time is on official Leah Berard's watch. She checks it out as we speak. Maola with the restart.
Well, he's put up a couple of good ones previously. His teammates haven't got underneath him. You know, the point of it is for it to be contestable. That's contestable. Where's his teammates?
Yeah, not a lot of full speed running down underneath that kick, and it's taken nicely by the Cougars. Maybe they can get something before the halftime horn. There's a little box kick by Una.
It's a pretty good box kick.
That was. Ueno. And there's a whistle, a penalty awarded to the Cougars. We'll see what they do with it here, Steve. So they'll get the line out. Even though I think time has expired, they'll have an opportunity. Drop goal?
Haven't seen one all weekend, have we?
No.
The dying art.
It is. It is. I'd love to see that.
Reminds me of Rome in 1984.
Rome in 1984. How can we forget? Steve Lewis put on a drop goal clinic. There's the line out. And it's taken by the Screaming Minks and kicked into touch, and that'll be it for the half. But a good half, a very good half, a 3-point match in this Challenge Cup final. Steve, quick assessment of what you saw in the first half.
Yes, finally poised now, but we had, as you said, an early start, early offensive burst from the Washington Lee Screaming Minks, and in particular, Semi Moala. However, he's been contained. Very much his threat has been contained by Azusa, and they've been patient, worked their way up the field, and are well worth their 3-point lead as we go into halftime.
All right, I believe we are going to take a quick break, but do not go away, folks. We will be back with more of this Enscrow Challenge Cup final right after this.
The other day, I wasn't taking. Yeah, okay.
You know commitment. You know preparation. You know the game plan. You know exhilaration. You know rugby. And when you want to try something new, when the unexpected happens, when you want to move on up, and when you're ready to retire, we'll be there because we know life. The Penn Mutual Life Insurance Company, your game plan for insuring life.
Hey, rugby fans, rugby is everywhere. The Giant is awakening, and Rugby Wrap-Up is there with the alarm clock. Rugby Wrap-Up, global rugby coverage, sometimes with a wink. Weekly studio shows, daily website content, breaking news, evolving stories, the biggest names in the game on camera, all over social media. Pundits from all corners of the planet, local, global, professional, amateur, female, and male. Find it all on rugbywrapup.com.
Hey everybody, it is 2019, and in 2018, Next Level Rugby was all over the country and the world, bringing you coverage of our sport up close and personal. It all started in Denver, then headed out to Vegas, and then next thing you know, we're in New York City, Japan, Austin, Texas, and a bunch of other places all across the country. But we would really like to thank the players, our fans, and most importantly, our partners that are helping to drive the growth of American rugby here in the United States and beyond. So let's just take a look at some of the shots that, we really loved and fell in love with, and, what made 2018 a special year is going to make 2019 even better. We're looking forward to what 2019 brings, and stay tuned. And remember, every day is a rugby day.
It's a great day to be a Saint. Got our paws on some sophisticated technology. Practiced a little saint-like behavior. We came and went the distance toward discovery. Preparing to join the ranks of the saints before us. We're a school with heart, in pursuit of greater inspiration that connects us forever.
What does life insurance have to do with rugby? More than you might think. Creating a strategic game plan in rugby is key to winning. A sevens match can change in an instance, so you need to have a strong defense, solid offense, and the flexibility to move between the two. It's the same for finding success in your financial life, whatever that means to you. Setting up a game plan that can help you tackle life is crucial for financial success. A good coach has knowledge of the game, sets goals for the team, and creates a strategy, which can be critical to achieving success both on and off the pitch. And when it comes to your financial life, having a relationship with a good advisor can be just as valuable to help you plan and meet your goals. Having the confidence that you're strong enough to play every minute as hard as the first gives you the best possibility to succeed during a match. And being financially fit gives you the ability to tackle opportunities and live life with confidence, knowing that if the unexpected happens, you're protected. Rugby and life insurance. They're closer than you think. Find out more at pennmutual.com/rugby.
Hey everybody, welcome back to Siena College, Hickey Field for the Enscrow Challenge Cup Final. We are about ready with our restart of the second half, or our start of the second half. It's 14-17. 17 is in behalf of the Washington and Lee Screaming Minks. I beg your pardon, in favor of the Azusa Pacific Cougars in white, who are defending right now as the Screaming Minks in blue take control of the ball. There's Maola with a kick, Simi Maola, and it trickles into touch. If you're just joining us, it's 17-14 in this Challenge Cup final between the Azusa Pacific Cougars and the Washington and Lee Screaming Minks. Steve, a good first half.
Good first half. Good contest. 3 points in it. So what do we have left? 39 minutes of your season left for both these teams. One of them's going to be a champion. One isn't.
Unless it ends in a tie.
It's the iron law of sports. If one team wins, one has to lose.
Yes, indeed. Unfortunately, and it's cliche, but it's unfortunate that somebody has to lose this one. But we are back to live play. There's Alacio. Spencer Alacio smashing forward. There's Maola. The big man barreling forward, wearing number 16, playing number 10. There's Sam Lohman, playing 9, wearing number 10. Jack Christensen takes it to turf. It's spilled but corralled by Ben
Dennis,
Soulier.
knock on by White.
Here's Durfee. Nolan
Advantage
Durfee
over.
banging forward. The junior biochem and European history major with a minor in German. Playing tight head prop. And both of these props, Durfee and Grant Coakley, are very mobile and excellent.
See,
with
that's
the
a
ball.
penalty right there.
Yeah.
Picking the ball out of the ruck.
Yes, you are correct. There's a pass, and got away with not being
Off the net.
a big hit, and we've got a high tackle. That's the way with those calls go these days. As Maola running over a few people, but taken to turf. Standing in there strong was Addison Dilly.
That's a penalty. That's okay.
There's Lohman. Dishes it out wide. Did well to get it into Apodaca to keep the ball alive. There's a little dummy, and he is engulfed. That is Moola is engulfed by white jerseys as soon as he gets his hands on the ball.
He's trapped, guys. Just let him play it. Slow ball anyway.
Tiernan Hannes presents the
Hold,
ball.
guys.
Lohman. Maola. A little squib kick. Palacios there, but it's going to be a knock on and a turnover. Maybe, I'm not sure I like that kick choice there, Steve. Giving possession away.
Yeah, it's going to be an interesting test of Moala's temperament here, right? Clearly he's a quality player, clearly a cut above the rest in terms of ability, but sometimes there can be a tendency to try too much, to take it all on yourself, try and deliver a victory. And it's a team game. He's drawn a lot of defenders to him. He might want to think about setting other people up, but a terrific talent nonetheless.
And there's a terrific talent. Ueno getting the ball out to Parker Vincent, who puts it in the air. It finds the turf, but a one-hopper easily into the hands of Kyle Holman, who counterattacks. Kyle Holman's had a good tournament, and he's driven back by Josh Williams with a big tackle. Here comes Lohman, and that's going to be a knock-on. Unfortunate by Lucas Campbell. He's going to be frustrated by that one.
Yeah, a few tired players out there now. Second game in, whatever, 36 hours or so into the second half. Pace has been quite high.
Crouch. Bind. Set.
There's the tap. Put in. Bueno and a wheel.
Wheel.
It's going to be a penalty.
White again.
Oh, just going to say do it again on the wheel.
Keep driving forward. Try to drive through it as best as you can. Thank you.
Only
So, Steve,
Crouch.
tell us the difference between a wheel being a penalty and not.
Oh, intent. So it's really, are you deliberately wheeling? Are you deliberately trying to destabilize the scrum? Occasionally it can go round, and it's both teams or neither team's fault.
There's Ueno. Parker Vincent with a dummy. He's got, a tough play and knocked on. And number 18, Bryce Hardy, dropping the ball.
Yep. Scrum chosen. Yep. Scrum chosen. Knock on into touch. Crouch.
Here's the put in.
Bind. Set.
That's a great shot from our next level rugby production crew. Taken out of the back of the scrum and dropped. That was Jack Calley picking it up, and it's a turnover. Suddenly a couple of fundamental mistakes that we didn't see in the first half, Steve, costing turnover on both sides.
Yeah, a little bit scrappy start to the second half, that's for sure.
Here's
Hold on.
Bo Perez, the blindside flanker, throwing it in. A lot of these players showing different versatility. Oh, nice. Almost taken, and it is eventually taken. There's Maola, who puts it up in the air, right into the waiting hands of Travis Hughes. And there's a high tackle.
12. 12.
That's going to be a high tackle, and there's going to be a conversation
Captain
here.
and 12, come here, please.
Could this be a card, Steve?
Guys, we've had a pretty clean game so far. I want that out of the game right now. Penalty only. Next one will be escalated. Thank you.
Jordan Madriaga surviving
Right here,
and not
guys.
getting pinged for a high tackle in terms of a yellow. It's just a straight penalty.
The next one, however, will be escalated. Yep. Can't have any complaints with that.
All right, and we want to apologize for calling the winger wrong. It's Bryce Hardy wearing number 18 for Azusa Pacific.
Hold this gap.
So we apologize for that. In the meantime, it's a line out to the Cougars.
Yep. That's your warning. Okay, you guys. Same for you, but just make sure the ball's in the.
Yeah, there's a little warning. Don't jump before the ball's in. And another throw in. Here's Perez. And they go right to the big man in front, but it's dropped and turned over. And maybe turned over again.
Take a step, White.
No, the Screaming Minks do have it. There's Lohman.
Hold, White.
Big turnover there again. Here's Maola skipping forward. He played number 8 off the bench the other night, and here he is at fly half.
Oh, wait.
That's how versatile this guy is. But it's turned over, a big turnover, and looking for more points is Azusa. Azusa Pacific, the Cougars in white on attack. There's number 3, Moody, and he is in. A great pick-and-go try.
Yeah, once again, we've seen it repeated all weekend, right? When you're deep in your own 22, it's called an exit strategy. You've got to have one. A couple of different ways of getting out of there. The key is not to take the ball into contact and lose it. And unfortunately, that's just what happened to Washington and Lee. Turned it over, and their opponents took full advantage of that error.
Mauke Muti, opportunistic and putting it in for the try. The Hawaiian studying criminal justice. He's a senior, and there it is again, another angle, and he's a large man. You're not going to stop him within a couple of meters, certainly. And it's now 22-14 pending this conversion by Parker Vincent. So depending on where the try is scored, that's who kicks for the Cougars. And that kick is no good, Steve. So it's going to stay 22-14 in favor of the Cougars. And we have just about 30 minutes left in this Challenge Cup final. Enscrow Challenge Cup final in an Enscrow National Small College. Oh, it's 23-14.
You're quite correct. 22-14.
22-14. Okay. All right. Just double checking. 22-14 in this Challenge Cup final. And it's our final match of a great weekend of rugby here in Albany at Siena College. There's Bo Perez.
Good counter ruck. They'd thrown another man at it. They would have won it.
There's Seast, the captain. There's a counter ruck and a good one by Durfee. But they maintain possession. There's Parker Vincent, and he drills it up in the air and calling for it. Little confusion, but they keep it. There's Apodaca. Oh, and there's a jersey drag into touch. And it's going to be a line out to the Cougars. Here's Bo Perez.
Blue, step.
Here's a replay. There's Apodaca wearing number 11. Gets it off to his scrum half, Lohman, who's dragged into touch by his jersey. And there's Ben Cease taking the line out.
At the front maul.
And it's been declared a maul. Bueno. Into Parker Vincent's hands. Here comes Bryce Hardy, number 18, with a good move. Taken to the turf. And he may have turned it over. And no, over the ball illegally. And it's going to be a penalty to Azusa Pacific, Steve.
No penalty.
Parker Vincent kicks it into touch.
Yeah, stupid penalty, that one. I mean, he was perfectly in position, just needed to stay under his own, control his own weight.
Here it is again.
He comes out the winger. He beat one man, it looks like.
It's a good move there by
Good
Bryce
move.
Hardy.
Gets held up here.
Wait a minute there to tie your shoe.
Another angle.
That was a big whiff by Kyle Hallman.
So Apodaca's right there.
Time's on.
And just goes onto the ground over the ball.
All right, here's the line out. Perez has thrown in quite a few of these today. And it goes to Ben Cease, the captain. Bueno gives it to Perez. Both of these gentlemen have had a busy day. And there's a knock on.
Back.
It's called back. There's Josh Williams with a fend. And a good tackle. That was Apodaca with the tackle for the Screaming Minx. Here's Wolford, who's our runner-up man of the match on Friday. And there's a big run by Parker Vincent, but a bigger hit by Apodaca.
It's a rock.
Wow,
Thank
two
you.
big guys coming together like that. Azusa looking for blood.
Foot.
Anthony Martinez holding on for their lives, Washington and Lee. There's Josh Williams barreling forward.
Get out 12.
Here's Ceased rolling forward, always getting that extra couple of meters. Little pick and go.
There it is.
And there it is. That's Moody with his second try, and he is happy about that.
Well, in that phase of play, you have to tip the hat to Apodaca there. They were two significant physical good tackles as part of that defensive stand. Unfortunately, he was alone in making dominant tackles there.
There it is. That's a great stick on Parker Vincent. But the Cougars right there in support to protect their ball carrier. And here it is. Here's Parker Vincent. There's that hit again.
That's textbook stuff from Apodaca. That every young player watching, that's how you do it.
That's right. Great hit, great technique. But Moody following up for the brace. Here's the conversion. Parker Vincent showing no ill effects of taking that hit from Apodaca. And the kick is up, and it is no good. So 27-14 in favor of the Azusa Pacific Cougars with just about 25 minutes left in this match. This Challenge Cup final in the National Small College Rugby Organization Championship weekend. It's been a dandy. We hope you've enjoyed it. Watching either on the NSCRO YouTube channel or the Next Level Rugby YouTube channel. Waiting for Moala, number 16, with the restart. And it's a good one. It's a good kick chase, but Ben Ceased untouched until now, receiving. You want a better pursuit there, Steve. A better kick chase on that, certainly. Here's some life from Wolf Hope, the freshman mechanical engineer. Ueno digs it out, puts up a little canine, up a little box kick. And it bounces into the waiting hands of Harry McBride, who's very fortunate to take it down in a sea of white jerseys. And there's a knock and a whistle. It's going to be a scrum down to Azusa Pacific. More great camera work from the Next Level Rugby guys. "57 minutes unofficially gone by in this match, so time is of the essence. If you are a Washington and Lee fan, you need something in a hurry to happen. It's still just a 13-point match, but it's been all white in the last couple of minutes. Here's Iona.
Yeah, they need to defend, they need to get the ball back, and they need to move up the field.
There's a big pass out to Bryce Hardy on the outside, dragged down by Holman. Vincent, Iona. Gregerson, Perez. And on the attack again, and perhaps smelling blood, are the Cougars.
Stay low, Blue. Stay low.
Some good attempts at counterattacks. That's Vincent Legsry getting into the action. A little shove back. Elagio goes backwards. Here's Josh Williams, number 13, with a fend and a big run. Another very capable runner. There's Moody with 2 tries looking for a hat trick. Here comes, that could be a knock on, maybe not. Anthony Martinez, no call there. That might be knocked forward, but it's turned over. There's Grant Coakley. Alacio, and a lot of sloppy handling of the ball right now, Steve.
Yes, indeed, multiple errors creeping in. Players get tired, fatigued, long weekend.
Here's that big run from Josh Williams, number 13. He just keeps going, and there's Moody on the outside. You got to like your tight head prop receiving a ball from a center on the outside.
Well, I was lurking on the outside taking a breather, but he certainly stepped it up when he got it back in his hands.
Fine.
Looking at it. Okay. All right.
Set.
There's the tap by Lohman. And a big drive by Pacific, and they are awarded the penalty. And very happy about that is Connor Brink-Sawyer.
Okay. Smart money here. What do you do with this penalty?
You kick it to the corner.
I take the points. Makes it a 3-score game.
We'll see. It looks like I think you're the wiser man here, Steve. Not surprising.
No charge, guys, and it's live ball.
Correct decision by Azusa. Let's see if they can connect, though, and get the 3 points. Otherwise, it will have all been for naught.
And you heard the official say no charge. We saw that happen the other night with the players that didn't realize that. They charged, and then it was a re-kick. You don't want that to happen, especially if it's a miss. And there it is, and it is up, and it is good. So that makes it more difficult. The hill is that much more steep if you are from Washington and Lee. 30-14. Now.
Yes, indeed. I mean, apart from the 3 scores they now require, they just move down the field. They just get an extra bit of reward every time they've been down there. This, for Washington and Lee now, is starting to look a little ominous. As we've said before, they need to get the ball back. They need to play in the right part of the field, and they need to get something fairly soon.
What do you think of the strategy of putting Maola at number 10 after he was so effective at number 8?
Well, I've stated I think it's easier to defend a 10, so I think it'd be more dangerous off the base. Or actually be more dangerous at 13.
There was a restart that nobody wanted, and it trickles into touch, and it will be a line out for the Cougars. who are wearing white.
But then again, as the coach, John Welsh, he has other factors perhaps going on in his thoughts. So who's to say?
Sure, and we're not second guessing. We're just wondering out loud, and it's easy in retrospect to make these thoughts or comments. But anyway, there's Seist, gets the line out. It's into the capable hands of Vincent, who puts it in the air. Here's Apodaca with a big counter run, but he is absorbed quickly by the defense.
That's good rugby though from Azusa. I mean, it's a good kick. Putting it back in that part of the field, a good kick chase. They got the ball back. Another good run from Williams. This is sensible rugby they're playing now, protecting this lead.
Yeah, the better kick chase has certainly been by the Azusa Pacific Cougars thus far. Here's Wolf Hope, hoping to get one, but he jiggles it away and he gives the possession into Mo'ola. And the big man's got some room to run, and a big collision from Parker Vincent. Not shying away, slowing him down, but it will be a penalty to Washington and Lee for not rolling away on the part of the Cougars. Kicked into touch by Simi Moala. And here's the replay of that Wolf Hope turnover. Here's Mo'ola running into Parker Vincent.
Yeah, to my mind, taking unnecessary contact there at Apodaca outside him. I mean, it's okay to want to bounce people and impose yourself physically, but sometimes there's a better option.
And perhaps he feels like he's got to do too much. But he is an excellent player, that's for sure. Here's Grant Coakley, who's going to pick up his lock and does so very well. There's the line out taken by the Screaming Minx. And here's Mo'ola again.
Guys, set up. Away 3.
There's Ben Soulier.
He's on the ball. Leave it, Blue.
And it's turned over by the Cougars. And here comes Anthony Martinez barreling forward. Here's Perez playing scrum half. And a good counter ruck, but maintained by the Cougars. And then a counter ruck that clears it. Spencer Olacio gives it to Durfee. Nolan Durfee charging forward.
Away 3.
Suddenly showing some life, the Screaming Minx, and they are awarded a penalty. Loman's going with a quick tap. Or maybe not. It's going to be a conversation by official Berard and the captain, Ben Seist.
We're not rolling. Quick chat. They've got to get out faster because they're slowing the contest. Please have a quick word and get out of the game. Okay? Thank you. Yes.
Steve, you heard the instruction?
Yep, quite right. Referee Berard is quite right. You make the tackle, it's incumbent upon you to get out of the way and roll away and get not to slow the ball down for the attacking team.
And a tap and a scrum rush from midfield on that. You got to like that. And there was Durfee with the burst. Here's Mo'ola, and he has burst into the open, and forget it. He's going to score a try here. There's no way he's going to be taken down under the post there. We expected more of that today, but we got some of it finally, and whether it's too little, too late, we will soon know, Steve.
Yes, indeed. That's what we've been looking for. That's the kind of flair, power that this man has. He's been bolted up very well by Asusa till this point, but no stopping him there. Just changed the angle, cut inside, and was off to the races.
Simi Mo'ola. Right up the gut. A big run and a big try, and they desperately needed that, did the Washington and Lee Screaming Minx.
Kicker. On me.
Here's Kyle Hallman. He's pretty good from the tee. There's a replay. Trying in desperate measure to tackling is Jacob Bentz, but he did so in vain. He did not have a chance at getting the big fella down. There's the try, the conversion rather, and it is now 30-21. So it's now a little bit more uncomfortable if you are Coach John Welsh and co.
Oh, it's more comfortable.
I beg your pardon. I beg your pardon. If you're Rex Pitts and co. John Welsh has to be happy with that try.
Yeah, it's with that last penalty may become critical. So now it's 30-21, as you say. 9 points of deficit. That's obviously, to anyone who can count, that is 2 scores. And I believe we have about 13 minutes left.
All right, 13 minutes left, and that's quite a bit of time if you are in the lead and trying to hold on. There is Spencer Alacio. Alacio takes it. Ben Cease, the captain, making the stop for the Cougars. Here's a little pick and go. Lohman gets into Moala. Madriaga. Apodaca. Apodaca with a big run. Parker Vincent forced to make the tackle. And it looks like it's going to be an advantage played on the knock-on. Again, losing possession of the ball at a critical juncture. And there's going to be a whistle. No advantage gained. Scrum down to the Cougars. Frustrating on the part of the Screaming Minks, Steve, to turn the ball over there. They had some momentum going.
Yes, indeed. You know, good try under the post. You cut the deficit. You get the ball back, but then unnecessarily coughing it up, giving away a free possession to the opposition.
Crouch!
They may rue that. Still time, though. Still time. 12 minutes.
That.
Put in by Ueno. Matt Ueno from Hawaii.
Back.
And there it is. A penalty awarded to the Screaming Minks. Lohman looking for a quick tap. And he does so. Here's Maola. Again, not looking to pass the ball, Steve. A little bit frustrating if you are outside of him looking for it. Here's a little charge forward. That's
Away, White.
Vincent Ligsring. Spencer Alacio looking for the ball, but again, you're saying that's that illegal tactic.
Driving me crazy.
Away, White.
But they're getting away with it, so keep going to the well if it's not being called. Maola passing it to Harry McBride, who can't handle it, and it is taken by number 11, Travis Hughes. And another turnover. Some frustrating fundamental turnovers hurting Washington and Lee so far. Bueno. Number 7, Luke Gregerson.
No hands on that.
Sophomore liberal arts major. Ueno going short side. There's the man with 2 tries so far. Muti barreling forward. Hair and all.
Lou, leave him, please. Okay, that's dangerous.
He has ceased.
Away.
Dragging a tackler with him. Ueno.
Hold, Blue.
They're going short side again. Here's Anthony Martinez. Right into number 5, Lucas Campbell.
Grip is fine.
And there's a whistle.
Okay, just lost forward. White's turn.
He's scrum down to the Cougars. Lots of stops and starts in this second half. And if you are the Azusa Pacific Cougars, you don't mind eating up some time on that clock. You have a 9-point lead. You are just about 10 minutes away from being the Challenge Cup champions, the Enscrow Challenge Cup champions. Right here on Hickey Field at Siena College.
Set.
Ueno puts it in. Here's Parker Vincent. Here's Bentz with a burst. As a counter ruck, a good one. But Ueno's right there to clean it up and maintain possession for Azusa. A sea of blue pushing back the white jerseys, but the white jerseys holding on to the ball. The Cougars. Again, here's Wolf Hope punching it back. Some urgency now on the part of the Screaming Minks, but to no avail right now because the Cougars are maintaining possession. And the clock is ticking away. And there's a whistle, and it's going to be a scrum down. Turned over to the Screaming Minks. Here's their opportunity. And here's that replay. You can see there's a Madriaga getting in the mix. There's another big hit from Apodaca. So everybody's getting involved.
Yeah, very aggressive at the breakdown there, Washington Lee, and they deservedly turned the thing over. They have a scrum now. As we said before, the clock is ticking. It's about 8-9 minutes left. This is still doable, but they have to be smart.
There's a great shot from the Next Level Rugby production team. Lohman. Oh, there's Spencer Olacio picking it up. Spencer Olacio is flying out tomorrow morning to Yellowstone Park, where he is going to be a park ranger for at least the summer. The number 8 for the Screaming Minks. Off the back, there's Madriaga. Gets it into Ben Soulier's hands. The man from New Orleans who follows the Nola Gold of the MLR on Instagram. Here's Grant Coakley barging forward from Charleston, West Virginia. Former wrestler who quit wrestling to come out for rugby. There's number 5, Lucas Campbell, the senior from Virginia Beach. Lohman knows that he's running out of time. Moala throws it on a hop, and there's Harry McBride, who is stalked by Williams and Vincent. Some pushing, some shoving, some counter rucks. Pounding it forward is Tiernan Hannes, who not long ago had an 11-hour brain surgery and is fine.
Well, not recently, hopefully.
It wasn't too long ago. He made a point of pointing that out. He's a hooker. What do you expect? Maola, oh, he is met quickly and sharply by number 8, Connor Brink-Sawyer.
Terrific tackle by Brink-Sawyer there. Terrific tackle.
There's a no-look pass by Lohman that goes off the fingertips of Harry McBride, and it's a turnover at a critical juncture, and that really should be it in terms of the scoreboard and the time. Up. Looks like we got a substitution. Looks like Chase Wolfhope getting a well-deserved rest.
He's put in a good shift again.
See who that is coming in a second. But watch this hit. Great tackle, driving forward. And Steve, there's another headband.
Yep, not a fan.
You're questioning the legality of the headband.
That as well. Form and function.
All right, there's the put in. Here comes Parker Vincent. He's had a big weekend. Physical player on both sides of the ball, and he kicks for points. Blue not rolling away. Spencer Olacio flag there, and it's going to be a penalty. And Parker Vincent could really just put the nail in the coffin here with a penalty kick here.
Yeah, I get the feeling this may just slightly be out of his range for goal, having watched him previously. I think he's come to the same conclusion. He's going to put it into touch. That's a useful nudge. They're going to have a line out, attacking about 10 yards out.
And the clock just keeps ticking.
The clock is now their friend.
About 5 minutes, maybe 6 minutes left in this Challenge Cup Championship final. 30-21 in favor of Azusa Pacific, wearing white over Washington and Lee's Screaming Minks. We'll start thinking about our men of the match for each squad as we await the line out. Bo Perez, who has had a great series this weekend. Line out taken by Aiden Birch of Santa Cruz, the econ major. Economics, the senior. He's had a solid performance as well. There's number 5, the captain. We've been calling his name all weekend because he has been in the mix. There's the man, Connor Brink-Sawyer, who put that big hit earlier. There's Muti with 2 tries. And Steve, the accolades can just keep coming with these players. As we see that number 16, Logan James Kauko is in. Berard instructing that you need to release. They do so. Here's number 12, Parker Vincent, crashing forward into the arms of number 5, Lucas Campbell. And there's Ueno. Is he going to get it in for the try? He's just short, ironically. And there's the whistle. And another whistle.
Yeah, looks like it would have been easier to score there. However, yet another knock-on. Back to the man of the match thing. We've had great shifts up front for Azusa by Captain Ben Seast, also Chase Wolfhope. Maake Muti, the other prop, has done extremely well, 2-2 scores. But I think in terms of overall control of the game and the overall contribution, I think their center today, Parker Vincent, would be my choice.
Very good choice indeed. And you can, again, we can pick all 15. We have substitutions. We'll try to get these for you.
Crouch. Bind.
Great shot. There's Lohman and Ueno, who just couldn't get that extra couple of yards there for that try. He certainly deserves one. And there's a good defensive play by Ueno.
Away 9.
Being told to get away
Step.
after his defensive pressure. There's number 15, Vincent Legsring. His older brother played. They're from the Valencia Tigers in California,
Back.
RFC.
Step.
He's been playing since he's 8 years old.
Hold.
Oh, mishandled under pressure.
That was backwards. Went out the back.
Should be a 5-yard scrum.
And you heard referee Berard explain it went backwards, so it wasn't a knock. But you're right, Steve. It'll be a
Out the back.
scrum down to
Very-
the Asia-Pacific Cougars. Easy for me to say.
Yep, very much the last chance saloon now for Washington and Lee. They just need something out of this scrum.
Steve, what's in the playbook when you're down by 9 points with 3 minutes and you're defending your own line?
They've got to try and get a nudge on here. They've got to steal the ball. It's you
Bind.
got to throw everything but the kitchen sink at it. You got to throw the kitchen sink at it.
The flea flicker meets the Statue of Liberty play, meets the reverse. Ueno. Brink Sawyer. And he might be holding on to the ball there, Steve. Yeah, that's
Here
gonna
it
be
is,
a
here
call.
it is, here it is.
Here's a counterattack. Maola with the quick tap. He puts it to the boot. Inadvertent. Not inadvertent, but ill-advised, I meant to say.
Yeah, I mean, that looked like the breakout could have been on if the ball had been kicked straighter up the field instead of out of play. That might have worked for them. Unfortunately, for Washington Lee,
Yeah, he's going to
this
regret
could be
that
it.
one. All right, so there's about 2 minutes unofficially left in this tilt. 30-21 is the score. And it's, when you're home and you're thinking about this, if you're from Washington and Lee, you're going to be frustrated because there were a lot of unforced errors.
Indeed. A lot of chances.
But there's Spencer Alacio.
Do they have one more? Do they have one more?
The Yellowstone Park Ranger. Taking a big hit with a fend offensively from Maola. Feeling every bit of that is Addison Dilly, but he is back up on his feet, trotting into his position, which is a good sign. There's Moody with the turnover, barreling forward.
Stay out, Blue.
And the Cougars punch right back. Ueno, always in the mix. Getting the ball out of there it is, and he's tackled immediately.
Wait, 16.
Adriaga,
Guys, stay up.
the inside
Blue,
center
wait,
now
wait.
getting involved.
It's a mess.
And it's a mess. You heard the referee say it's
Quick
a mess,
scrum. Too
and
many
there's a
bodies,
whistle.
guys. Got to hold your feet to play rugby. 1.5.
And some emotion.
1.5 minutes, says referee Berard. That's all that's left for the 2019 season for both these teams. 90 seconds. 2 scores required, but they don't have the ball.
And you heard some emotion from the front row of the Cougars as they sense their victory. Their hard work rewarded.
Crouch.
And Steve,
Bind.
let's go over those men of the match again real fast.
Yes, Parker Vincent for me, Azusa Pacific Cougars.
Him. Get up. Let him get up, okay?
Some other contenders there, as we discussed, specifically the props, Wolfhope and Muti.
Yeah. And and Anthony Martinez, the hookers, had a great match as well. How about for Washington and Lee?
Washington Lee, I think I would probably go for Apodaca. I think he's worked hard, made a couple of great tackles earlier on. Obviously, Moala is the man that makes them tick, but this man at fullback, what can he do here? Does he have anything left?
Yeah. He is. Yeah, I agree with you with him on that. He has had a great tournament so far.
Guys, play on. Play on, guys.
And unfortunately, He's going to be on the losing end here. Here's Maola. Gets it out on the wing. That looks like number 18.
Moala's got it.
That's Brandon Carner.
Tracked down by a bunch. Look at the defensive effort there, though, from the Cougars.
Yeah, look at all
They're
those
all
white
back.
jerseys, yeah.
They know what they're playing for here as the clock winds down.
Penalty advantage. Away white.
Holman steals the ball, it looks like.
Side.
Yep, and here comes Lohman with a quick tap. He's going to try to take it himself.
Take it from the mark.
He did not take it from
And
the
it's gotta
mark.
leave
It's
your
coming
hand.
back. So, Steve, explain to the folks at home what just happened there.
Yes, indeed. So penalties awarded. You are entitled to take a tap as quickly as you like, but it does have to be within the vicinity of where the offense occurred, so typically a 1 meter circle. It does also have to leave your hand, so you have to tap it like that. Comme ça. Off they go.
Comme ça, you got a little French in there, my friend. And there is
Away white.
Durfee
There
taking
it
it to
is.
the turf.
Yeah.
He's got to fly back to Germany tomorrow. Here's a counter ruck
Leave it
by
white.
number
Leave it
7,
now, Rock.
Luke Gregerson. And it's a penalty awarded to Blue.
I know, you're the tackle assist. That's the problem.
We've got a frenetic and exciting finish, but unfortunately it's a 9-point bulge in favor of the Azusa Pacific Cougars if you are John Welsh and co. And there, but you got to like the fact that your players are still showing the fight, but there's a turnover, and here is a counterattack. Dilly puts the ball in the air, and that might be it. Was it? It is indeed, and you can see the celebratory yelling, bellowing of the hooker for the Azusa Pacific Tigers. That's Anthony Martinez of Covina. He is very happy. But we have our men of the match, Steve.
Yes, for the third time, man of the match, Parker Vincent for the Azusa Pacific Cougars.
Well, we just hope that Brett Anker is listening to us. That's the Challenge Cup champions, the Azusa Pacific Cougars, and a tough, tough match. Great opposition from the Washington and Lee Screaming Minks as the teams get ready to shake hands. They were battling every second, both teams. Nobody gave in. It was just who controlled the ball more at the end.
Yes, indeed. The second half dominated by the Cougars. Worthy winners. Did what they had to do.
Lots of fight in those Screaming Minks, especially in those waning moments of this Challenge Cup match. And you can see the teams shaking hands. We will have our man Brett Anker with a couple of these players in just a moment. But what was the big difference there? I thought the kick chase on the part of the Cougars was superior to the Screaming Minks, Steve. That was certainly one aspect.
Yeah, I
of
thought
it.
they smarter football. They won the territory battle. They played most of the game in the correct part of the field, forcing Washington to come from deeper and to take more chances. And by necessity, you play a little bit looser. You do make more mistakes.
Indeed, and we had the fly half for the Screaming Minks. Maola perhaps trying to do too much, but he was a force out there regardless. And you had Apodaca with the counterattacks, but every time they threw a punch, it was counterpunched by these Cougars, and they earned this absolutely.
Yes, indeed. The scoreboard doesn't lie. 30 points to 21. Probably the best game of the weekend in terms of competitiveness. That's what you wanted, a final. So that is it for 2019. One team, the Azusa Pacific Cougars, return home to California national champions. Washington and Lee, the Screaming Minks from Lexington, Virginia. Shorter journey. Unfortunately, it will be a painful one this evening, but they can reflect with credit on a season. You make a final, the national championship, you're doing well. It doesn't seem like it at the time, but and that's scant consolation, particularly from a couple of commentators. But it's been a good season for them, and they have a great deal of credit reflecting upon them.
Absolutely, and it looks like Brett Anker is going to have the captain of the Washington and Lee Screaming Minks, Spencer Alacio, up first. The Cedarburg High School out of Wisconsin, he started playing. He actually emailed the captain at Washington and Lee while he was in high school to tell him that he was coming, and he hasn't missed a practice since. But he's flying out tomorrow to Yellowstone. And I think we ready for Brett We're going to throw it down to Brett Anker now.
Hey, Matt, I am here with Spencer Alascio. So I can see the emotion on your face. You're a 4-year senior. It's a very, very tough way to go out. But how proud are you of the way your team performed this weekend?
Are you kidding me? We played our hearts out. I mean, anybody who watched this game could see how physical it was, could see that we left literally everything out there on the field. I'm so proud of each and every one of my players. I wouldn't trade our team for the world. A lot of things just didn't end up going our way. We made some mistakes, slick conditions, had a hard time holding on to the ball. Some calls didn't go our way. And, I mean, that's the difference between winning and losing. But, I mean, there's not a whole lot of regret that I have, and I'm sure there's not a whole lot of regret anybody else on our team has, given that how hard we played.
The boys in the booth were talking about how you emailed the captain of the team when you were going to be a freshman at Washington and Lee, that you were coming out. 4 years later, you've been at every practice, every game. How do you feel about the legacy that you're leaving behind here for this team?
I mean, if nothing else, I just want to say that, if you buy into the program, if you buy into the guys, into the culture, into the team, you won't regret it. You can't. I mean, how can you regret this family? I mean, I'm playing with my family out there, and, the instant I walked on to practice my freshman year, that's all I felt. I felt like I came home, and, every week when I'm at practice, every game I go to, that's where, I'm happiest. That's where, I feel like, I can be myself, and, that's all I have to say about this.
You can see the raw emotion down here, Matt, from the Washington and Lee team here. We're going to send it back up to you.
Thank you, guys. Thank you, Spencer. Spencer, it was a pleasure watching you. You should hold your head up high. Well done. In the meantime, Steve, it looks like we might be going right back down to our man, Brett Anker, and this time with the man of the match, Parker Vincent.
Here, come over here. All right, we are live down here. I'm with the man of the match, the next level rugby man of the match, Parker Vincent. So, tell me, how does it feel to be a national champion?
It feels awesome. We've been working all year for this, so all glory to God. But it's just really been hard work all throughout the entire season. It feels awesome. A lot of hard work.
2 years ago, your team is winless. Now you're standing here as a national champion. What do you credit that to?
Honestly, like the guys who have been working like before, even the guys who aren't on the team anymore, but building the foundation for this team. We got guys like Brandon Seitzba, Josh Holford, and Aka. So, just a lot of hard work throughout the years and building the program up and working hard.
You traveled here with 18 players. I've got a funny feeling next time you come here, you're going to have twice that number when they see that you won a national championship. But can you talk about the commitment that you have 1 through 18?
Oh, yeah, totally. I mean, we knew that we don't have a big team, but the people that we do have are hard workers and really just give it 100% every single time. Small team, and we knew that they were going to be really good, but we were pretty confident knowing that we're a good team too. So despite the small numbers, lack of size, whatever, we're a good team.
There you have it. Azusa Pacifica, your 2019 Challenge Cup national champions. Matt, back to you.
All right. Thank you, Brett. Thank you, Steve. It's been a pleasure.
Appreciate it.
On behalf of everybody at Next Level Rugby, we are going to hang out and show you the ceremonies.
All right. Hey, Brett. We want you to stick around for the ceremony. You want Brett to show him after the ceremony, right?
Hey, rugby fans.
working at the Imperial Hotel in Toronto.
Get this going because I know that everyone needs to get back on the road. I'm sorry, Moorhead was supposed to be here, but we don't see him right now. But let's get it going. For those of you who don't know me, I'm Steve Cohen, the founder and president of Enscrow. With me is Matt Robinette, who is our director of events, and Jeremy Teresa is the director of rugby development. I want to thank them for their great support, along with Brett Anker, who's here. It's been really been a fun weekend, and this last match really just summed it up really well as the match before. These two matches this afternoon showed how much heart these kids have, and and how tough they are. I mean, this is just, I couldn't have asked for more. So let me also send a special note of thanks to Bill Krecker, who's an eligibility director, who's not feeling well and could not be here this weekend. He was a vital part of Enscrow and making this weekend a success. A quick thing I always like to bring up is about rugby. It's a wonderful sport that upholds sportsmanship on and off the field of play. It is in ways the perfect sport to foster the growth and development of young adults who, as athletes, work hard to make themselves and others proud of their accomplishments. As a legendary basketball coach John Wooden once said, to be part of something special is a privilege. I know I feel privileged to be part of collegiate rugby. I hope everyone here does too. So let's now honor everyone that's here today. Guys, can I ask to give you a round of applause to all your fans who came out in support? And be sure when you get back to schools to thank all the people there, especially the administrators who given rugby life at your school. Can I ask everyone here to just give everyone a round of applause, all these players? A big thanks to Siena College, our host, led by Greg Matthew. Greg, you around? He's behind you. What? He's right back there. Greg, just want to thank you and your crew for doing an outstanding job this weekend. And a special thanks to Ned Jones, the Vice President of Enrollment, who is, along with John D'Argenio, the Vice President of Athletics, are major supporters of rugby. The Penn Mutual Life Insurance Company is the top sponsor of Enscrow and all of our championships. Learn how Penn Mutual is committed to collegiate rugby and also helping you achieve life's possibilities by visiting pennmutual.com/rugby. Rhino Rugby is the official Enscrow equipment and ball supplier. Enscrow thanks Rhino Rugby for the support of small college rugby by providing the Vortex Elite match balls and referee jerseys this weekend. To outfit your team with equipment, apparel, and balls that facilitate improved performance, go to rhinorugby.com. I'll be handing out to the teams this afternoon a total of $1,000 in gift certificates from Rhino Rugby. I'd like to thank Ryan Ginty and Next Level Rugby, along with our match commentators for most of the weekend, Matt McCarthy and Steve Lewis, for the outstanding job. And I hope your families and friends who couldn't be here enjoy the broadcast. I'd like to thank Dr. Joe Zimmerman and our trainers that came out today and this weekend for providing that excellent care. I thank our referees, Leah Barad, Joe Burpo, Chris O'Malley, Matt Lake, for their excellent work this weekend, as well as the ARs provided by the New York State Referee Society. So let's get down to honoring the players. Our first award is called the Impact Player Award. It is a player who according to our elite group of rugby veterans, led by Jeremy Treese here, have selected a player from each team who is going to receive a free custom mouthguard from our sponsor, Impact Protection. When I call your name, please come up, accept your award, and stay over here for a group photo in front of the banner. From Wisconsin, Stevens Point, Elliot Van Oss. I'll do my best from Washington Lee, Lika Apodaca. I apologize if I don't get this pronunciation right, but Azusa Pacific, Maaki Muti. I'll do Heart and Soul next, then we do the All Championship team. Okay. Enscrow has a tradition we call the Heart and Soul Award. We award a match ball to a club member selected by the coaching staff whose selfless contributions off the field have helped the club find success. We hope his teammates will sign the ball, and it's something that he'll always cherish. Please come up and accept your ball from Jeremy Treese. From Stevens Point, ditto, Elliot Van Oss. From Azusa Pacific, hope I get this right, Matt Uyeno. From Washington and Lee, Spencer Alacio. Put a Penn Mutual in the middle, Matt. Hang on. Now we're going to have Jeremy announce the All Championship team, followed by the MVP.
All right, gentlemen, thank you very much. Great job this weekend. We were up in the booth. We talked it over with our experts, and we picked our all-championship team for the weekend. So when I call your name, come on up, and Matt Robinette will give you a jersey. Okay, so front row, Anthony Martinez. Mayaki Muti. Chase Wolfhope. Second row, Ben Seast. And Aiden Birch. Back row, from Minnesota, Tanner Malatier is not here. Bo Perez. And Simi Moala at 8. Okay, so now to the good-looking backs. Get your hair ready. Number 9, Matt Ueno. Yeah, thank you. Elliot Van Ness. Jerry Williams. Kyle Schoen. Parker Vincent. Josh Williams. And Lika Apodaca. Tournament MVP, Steve? What did tournament MVP? Wait till they all get over there first. Okay.
Those belong to the coach, so turn him in. Don't get him out. Hey, roll your tag. It's their sponsors.
Front guys kneel.
No, just stand up. Oh, these knees. I don't know about all that.
We're missing.
Guys, wait a minute. What about the MVP?
Yeah, okay, guys. The tournament MVP for this weekend, we took the whole body of work from yesterday and today, is Ben Seast. Congratulations.
Much appreciated. Thank you so much.
Congratulations.
What we got? God first.
Now, we didn't say we invite the Champions Cup Select side back and these guys play them, yeah?
Guys, so let's continue with the team trophies. All right, we get your attention once again, guys.
All right, gentlemen, front center, yep.
For all the teams remaining from third, second, and first, we also have player medals for you. In third place from Wisconsin, Stevens Point. Congratulations. Take a In second place from Lexington, Virginia, Washington and Lee University. From the deep south of California, the amazing 18 members of Azusa Pacific University. Congratulations, the 2019 ENSCO Challenge Cup National Champion. Right, hang on a second, guys. Hey, guys. Oh. Hang on. Hang on. I want to thank everyone for being part of this fantastic weekend. You know, if you get a chance to check out Enscrow and enscrow.org, as well as Facebook and Enscrow Rugby. Everyone have a safe trip home or back to school, and hope to see you all again next year.
Azusa, come up and get your champion shirt, and
then
we'll take a picture in front of the bench.
Penn Mutual sponsor has champions T-shirts, you guys. Let them know what size you want.
Yes, large here in the middle.
How much large? Oh, that means the drinks, right? The mic died on this, so do they need me or no?
And that is it, folks. We are done. A spectacular National Small College Rugby Organization Enscrow Championship weekend. Thank you to everybody involved, particularly the passionate Mr. Steve Cohn, who got this thing off the ground. Next Level Rugby's excellent production team. I'm Matt McCarthy on behalf of my fellow commentators, Mr. Steve Lewis and Mr. Brett Anker.